Welcome back to What Do You Know with Nick and Devin. I am Devin.
And I'm Nick.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Nicholas.
Yes.
It is New Year's Eve.
It is.
Crazy.
Bananas.
Where'd the year go?
Truly.
So I hope everybody had a good holiday or continuing to celebrate your holiday season. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. Happy New Year's to you, Nick.
Thank you. Happy New Year's to you, Devin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to kiss my dog at midnight.
Yeah, you are. Come here.
Only one of them.
Aww.
It'll be both.
Yeah.
So, Nick, with the new year just a few short hours away, what is your resolution?
I hate you.
I know. I don't
you.
want to answer the question myself, so I might skip myself.
That, first of all, rude. I don't really think I have... I don't know.
You ran a marathon, so, like, what next?
I know. I'm doing it again.
Oh, well.
So, times two.
Yeah.
What do you call it? I think that I think with resolutions, they're really good motivators if
Sure.
you're someone who that's the way it motivates you. Like if goal setting is the way that you do things, awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just not
Not for you.
Not for me. I'm just not like an organizer like that. This has nothing to do with it, but my aunt the other day when I was over there for Thanksgiving, she had like a touch screen like calendar organizer thing.
Oh yeah,
and
she's
it's
telling
like,
me about that.
Oh really? It's done by like Skylight, and so it's like you can put in different chores, you can do different like meals for every day and put the like recipe in and do all these things. I'm like, that's pretty
crazy.
cool.
That's cool.
And then I thought about it, I was like, I'm just not that person. I'm not the person who's like, I want to see all of it and I'm gonna like make sure I update it all the time. It's gonna go away after about a month. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's just like something that we have
That's
collecting
there.
dust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So I think for me, like I said, during my birthday when I was like, what am I looking forward to next year? I think I just want to try to make sure that I'm doing more things. I think this might sound selfish, but like for myself, like
Sure.
finding like more hobbies and doing maybe things like that, or like classes, or like being intentional and spending time with people and that sort of thing. More so than just like, I want to go to the gym every 4 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need that sort of practicality. I just think maybe more of like a mindset shift than the subsequent action thereof.
Yeah.
More so than like I want to make sure that like I eat out only twice a week. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Or like,
I get
whatever.
that.
Yeah.
I think for the people that like need to hit those marks and like need it as a motivator, and I know like there's that statistic out there that's like, oh, like 95% of New Year's resolutions fail before the end of January kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like that's just like disappointing.
Right.
And a little sad, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's a reason for that, because those like practical goals are always just kind of so, if you didn't do it last month, why is this month gonna change you?
Sure.
But for me, I don't remember last year's New Year's resolution. I don't know if I did one.
There it is.
Exactly. I know I did Dry January. That was fun. And then a year or so before that, my New Year's resolution was to design a tattoo for myself and get it. And I did it in like the first 3 months of the year. So I was like, I'm scot-free.
Yeah.
I like to set the bar low for myself every time. That way I feel good about myself.
Or you set small goals to build on.
Exactly.
Yes.
I keep myself in mind when I set my goals.
Yeah. I know me. Yeah. Incredible.
So I don't know. Will I have a New Year's resolution? Probably not.
You're not going to do another tattoo?
I'm gonna have another tattoo.
Right.
Is it gonna be one that I design? No, I've already done that.
Oh. Been there, done that.
I want other people's art on my body, not my own art.
Fair. Well, you have to find balance.
It's true.
Because it's your leg that needs the balance?
No, I have both of my legs are tattooed.
Where's the balance? Aren't you missing one?
I am. I'm missing one on my arm.
Arm.
Yeah.
No, it's like close. An appendage.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's my New Year's resolution, is to get that arm tattoo. How about that? That's easy. That's fun.
That's not a resolution, though.
It's a goal. I've been putting it off for
But is a goal
year
resolution?
or so. Well, then he's going to the gym. Like,
I
guess
know.
a resolution is like an answer
Yeah.
to a problem you're having. And the problem I'm having
Oh, here we
is
go.
I'm
Yeah.
unbalanced on my body with tattoos.
But I feel like it's like a longer term thing. It's like to
this tattoo's going to be on my body my whole life. That's as long term as it gets.
all right. You get your tattoo then. That can be your resolution.
And it's been a problem of mine for a couple of years now at this point. So
There it is.
there it is. We have a resolution. Get
Just
an
for
arm
you.
tattoo.
Uh-huh.
Got it.
I hope that this happens every year for you. Incredible.
Oh, phenomenal. All right. So now that we got that out of the way and I have a plan for this year.
Yeah. Because before it was looking real bleak.
I didn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
2025 is going to be fucked up.
But now, knowing you're
Now?
getting a tattoo, yeah.
It's going to be great.
Gorgeous.
We'll see. So now, Nick, I'm going to get into our topic for today. And it's really funny, actually. I really had to hold back some giggles last week for your topic. And you'll see why when I ask you, what do you know about the tragedy of Pluto?
I'm assuming it has to do something with Hades.
Kind of.
Is it... Well, like the equivalent thereof.
Yeah, well, okay, so
Or is
let's
this like
let's
space?
do tragedy of Pluto, the planet, space Pluto, not mythology.
Not mythology.
Pluto.
Sorry, I was in last week's mindset.
I know. Well, we were talking
apologies.
about it,
Yes.
and I'm going to talk a little bit about like who Pluto is. So
I have no idea. My inkling is to say it's when it got kicked out of the solar system.
Yeah.
Which is really sad.
yeah,
Like, why? Just give Pluto the designation.
so you're
Okay.
one of those people.
Let him be a planet.
Wow,
Well, what
okay.
does that hurt us? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Because
Fair.
he went from like planet to what? Like,
Dwarf planet.
was it necessary? At the end of the day, he's still a planet.
Yeah, well, and Pluto also now has a minor planet designation when you talk about Pluto.
Oh, it's minor planet now, not dwarf planet.
Well, it's called a dwarf planet, but like officially, when you like write about Pluto, it is given a minor planet designation, which means that it has a number in front of it and then the name.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
So, is it still taught in education that Pluto is a planet part of our solar system?
It shouldn't be. I believe most textbooks
Have
switched over.
Have taken Pluto out?
Yeah, since like 2006.
That's so rude.
I mean, I haven't looked at a textbook since 2006. Well, no, I have. That explains a lot.
I was like, yikes.
I took an astronomy class after 2006. No, it says that Pluto's a dwarf planet.
That's so sad.
Well,
You know all the talk about like abolishing the Department of Education?
yeah.
I might be just give Pluto its designation back.
It wasn't even the Department of Education. This was
It
an international
was
thing.
a joke, Devin.
Still.
Sometimes we tell jokes on this podcast.
No, we don't. This is
Jesus.
serious.
Only. Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you.
Tell me about the tragedy of Pluto.
I will. So,
And I'm just kidding. I want the Department of Education. Please fund it more. Christ.
you're a big person for the Department of Government Efficiency, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Barf.
Yeah. Me and Vivek.
Anyway, the tragedy of Pluto. Mm-hmm. Maybe next year we'll talk about the tragedy of America. All right, so the tragedy of Pluto.
I thought you'd be happy about late stage capitalism. It's all falling apart.
I didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't want to live through
I didn't
it.
ask to be born into this.
No.
Yeah. Uh-huh. What if you find out that you, in the afterlife, you do get to decide where you go back to, and then you find out that you decided to go back into not only capitalism, but 90s tech boom capitalism into late stage capitalism. You decided that.
Well, I'd have a few words with my past self.
They're all lined up.
Yeah, like the Avatar. I'd go down the line and be like, who the fuck did this?
And Roku was the last one. Incredible.
All right, tragedy of Pluto. One more time. Pluto was discovered as our 9th planet in the solar system by Clyde Tombaugh on February 18th, 1930. But the idea of Pluto can actually go back to the 1840s. Scientists of that era had yet to discover Neptune, but through maths and observations figured that there's something else out there beyond affecting the orbit of Uranus.
Oh.
I'm going to be saying Uranus
I knew
this
you
whole
were.
time. Uranus.
Thank you. Thank you. It scratches the itch. You know what I mean? Because it's just for the audience.
Yeah.
'Cause I just feel like for them,
They want to hear Uranus.
they wouldn't have been able to hear past that.
Fair.
Yeah, they really want to,
They want to hear me say Uranus.
Uranus. Uh-huh.
Perfect. So there's something else out there affecting the orbit of that outermost planet,
Yes.
Uranus. Later observations of Neptune, once that was discovered in 1846, confirmed that there was something still further out there affecting orbits of those far-off celestial objects. Thus, the search for Planet X began.
Got it.
The search for Planet X was coined and started by Percival Lowell in 1909. He believed something else was out there and was determined to find it.
Well,
like the name Percival?
I was going to say, I was like, with a name like that, you got to.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
While the search actually wound up outliving the guy, the discovery was still made at the Lowell Observatory, named after him, in Flagstaff, Arizona, by Clyde Tombaugh, just a year into his tenure at the observatory.
Wow.
Using maths and observations once again, coordinates were calculated to determine where this Planet X might be, and pictures of that space were taken.
Okay.
So Clyde took those pictures, and using a blink comparator, which is like such a sci-fi name.
Yes.
But it's just
Yes.
It's just this really like old piece of tech that astronomers use to quickly compare two pictures. That's all it was.
I just imagine like you standing in front of like a backlit sort of thing with like X-ray film.
Yeah.
And just go. It's like,
Yeah, they didn't like make a flip book. It
Right.
was just like, but like if you see pictures of it, it's this huge, almost like eye exam machine that like you lean into, and like you look at through these little eyepieces, and you have these slates that these pictures are on, and it will just with like mess with your vision a little bit to like compare them really quickly, go back and forth.
oh.
Very bizarre.
Okay, I have two questions.
Yeah.
One, what year is this again?
1930.
Thank you. Two, what was the purpose of comparing the photos?
So yeah, I guess I stopped there. The purpose was to notice the possibility of of a certain object moving. Because obviously,
okay.
You'd be able to. Obviously, all the objects in space are moving.
Right.
However, depending on how close they are, will mean like how much they would move. Because like if something's super far away, it's not really going to move that much within a couple days.
Right.
But if something's within our system, a couple days difference of pictures, you'll be able to notice.
Got it.
And
okay.
so like he had pictures from, I'm going to mess up these dates a little bit, but I think it was like January 23rd and January 26th, I'll say.
Okay.
It might be a couple days off. And so he had those pictures. And when he put them through the blink comparator,
yeah,
sounds like a machine from Phineas and Ferb.
yeah,
So when he put those in the blink comparator, he was able to notice that there was a celestial object that had moved. And then he went back to like January 21st that had kind of like not as a clearer picture, but he was like, oh yeah, I can see that this has moved several days worth of time. That's a planet in our solar system.
So Pluto was hiding behind Uranus.
Yep.
You had to know with the topic, it was coming.
When I took astronomy in high school, my teacher said that he would fail us if any of us made any Uranus jokes. He said, get them all out, and then from here on out, you will get an F if you say anything about Uranus. It's Uranus.
And you're like, but it's my anus.
I'll let him know.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Email him, please.
Yeah. So Clyde was able to confirm that there was something there, and after confirmation was made at a few other observatories, we had ourselves the 9th planet of our solar system.
Ah, yes.
So let's say some fun facts about Pluto. We gotta put it all out there.
Yeah.
1 year. I'm gonna lay out some like the classic facts. Gotta. We're talking about planets. It's always fun. 1 year on Pluto is equal to 247.94 Earth years, which means 154 years from now in 2178, Pluto will have completed its first orbit since discovery.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's
Space
wild.
is massive.
Crazy.
I recently saw something that kind of like you forget how big space is, but then like I saw you see a few things you're like, oh shit, like space is massive.
Yeah.
And so what I recently saw was on TikTok. There's this woman. She's a TV host. She's a social media person by the name of Space Gal, but her real name is actually Emily Calandrelli.
Okay.
She recently became the 100th woman in space from the Blue Origins mission that recently happened in July earlier this year.
Oh, that's cool.
And she was able to post videos of it finally and whatnot. And one of the things that she said from her time up there was she was like, I didn't expect there be so much space. Like you look down and you see our planet, and then beyond the roundness of the planet, you just see all of this black. And there's just so much space out there. And that's like, fuck, there is. It's just massive.
There's no end.
Yeah. So like to have Pluto finally complete its first orbit since discovery 150 years from now is wild.
Yeah, that is just crazy. It is interesting, like when you see photos from like James Webb or like they're constantly releasing new things and new discoveries and things like that. You're just like, we'll never see that. We'll never see it.
No.
Like that's just insane because we're also viewing it a billion years later.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
this information that we've received is so old.
Correct. So it is just kind of it's wild to really think about that.
Yeah. And like some of the missions that we've sent out into the farther reaches of our solar system are one, super lucky that like we hit the target, and two, once in a lifetime. Which is crazy. And so it's like, all right, we only have one shot to photograph Pluto. Let's make it count. So yes, 1 year on Pluto, blah, blah, blah. 1 Plutonian day is equal to 6.387 Earth days.
Oh.
I assume on the Gregorian calendar.
I would assume the most accurate.
Its orbit is a little wacky and at a slight angle. So while it is going around the sun, it is anywhere from 30 to 49 astronomical units away from our system's star.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Astronomical units.
Thank you.
For those who don't remember, their astronomy unit from science class is defined by the IAU, or the International Astronomical Union, as exactly 149,597,870,700 meters.
Approximately.
This is a new definition actually from 2012, which solidified the AU as a limited use convenience, as since space is so large, the AU isn't the best unit of measurement when talking about astronomy. When I took astronomy, an AU was approximately the average distance between the Earth and Sun, 150 billion meters.
Okay.
So like still is, but they've just put it a solid number, not an approximate.
Got
so
it.
like you could still talk about like distances within our solar system being AUs, that's fine.
Sure.
But when you're talking about like the distance from here to the Andromeda galaxy, the next closest galaxy, it's like, well, how many fucking it's going to be billions of AU away at this point. So like what? That's when we get into like parsecs and light years.
Parsecs. Nice.
Now we know. Units. Fun stuff.
So 150 billion AU is standard.
150 billion meters
is 1 AU.
Just about.
Got it. A little tilde before it.
Yes. Pluto was named after the Roman god of the underworld of the same name. The name Pluto was actually first suggested by an 11-year-old schoolgirl from Oxford, England, Venetia Burney.
Oh.
Burny.
Venetia?
Venetia.
Venetia.
Burney.
Okay. It's just I've never heard the name.
That's the English for you.
Sure.
Interested in classical mythology, Venetia suggested the name to her grandfather over breakfast, who then passed it along to a colleague at Oxford University, who then passed it along to the folks at Lowell Observatory.
Oh, so Venetia's living in the lap of luxury.
Oh, yeah.
Got it. Also, her name is Venetia. So yeah.
Two other names actually came up against Pluto as options in contention to the name of our 9th planet. There was also Minerva and Kronos.
But we already had Saturn. You can't like mix it up from there. You can't then just take a Greek name and give it to a planet. If all of your planets are Roman based,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
It just feels like, why would you go against that for the last one?
You'll understand why when you learn who suggested Cronus. But first I'm going to talk about Minerva.
Okay.
Minerva is the Roman goddess of wisdom, justice, law, victory, and the sponsor of arts, trade, and strategy. She's also the goddess of warfare, but specifically strategic warfare. Think Athena in Greek mythos.
Fair.
And Kronos, as we remember from last week, is, of course, the famous Titan of Greek mythology who ate his children to prevent a prophecy from coming true. Chomp, chomp.
Chomp, chomp. Do you think he did chomp, or do you think he just, like, won?
I think it depends on the depiction of him.
Sure.
Because, like, in some, he's massive, and, like, it's just essentially a tiny little pebble, like the size of a nerd candy to you and I, that he just swallows down.
Yeah.
But others, like if you look at the famous painting of Kronos, the baby's a little bit larger, so he kind of has to like chew it. Yeah.
That's got to be, I think that's more terrifying. You have to bite into your child.
I think it makes more sense for the myth for him to be massive, because then like it's much easier for have a disguised rock as a baby than like, oh, where's the flesh of this rock kind of situation.
Sure.
So Minerva was actually the observatory's staff first choice in the matter, but was already used to name an asteroid. So that option was off the table. They were like, God damn, forgot about that guy.
How awful. To be Minerva, the goddess, and then be like, you used me for an asteroid?
Yeah. A little rough. Kronos was being promoted by some egocentric asshole astronomer. So everyone was like, nah, just to spite that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I don't know who that was, but fuck that guy.
I'm not even going to say his name. Just to like do a little more dig on him.
Yeah.
But I looked into him just a little bit, and everyone was like, he just has like a lot of bad ideas about astronomy and the world, and like he was having issues with like relativity and stuff like that, and people were like, no, this is like hard fact, like,
right, this is true,
fuck off.
Yeah. What a dick.
He was a dick.
Yeah.
So to solidify the name Pluto, the folks at Lowell sent the name over to the American Astronomical Society and the Royal Astronomical Society, where the name was approved by both institutes and was officially published on May 1st, 1930.
Dang. Okay. All right, Pluto.
So that's where we get Pluto's name.
Fair.
Pluto's atmosphere. We're still going on fun facts.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We're still.
I got 3 more fun facts.
Here we go.
Pluto's atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide, and maintains an average temperature of a balmy minus 387 degrees Fahrenheit.
Whew. A little chilly.
Shorts weather.
Truly.
On NASA's website, it was like, which is too cold to support life. I was like, no shit.
No shit. No shit.
I know like some people probably needed that, but whatever.
What is this, Hoth?
There are, however, people believe that there might be some deeper oceans that are like frozen underneath several thousand layers of ice on Pluto that might have some substances or potential for life, but nothing grand.
Sure. But that's kind of cool.
Very.
Yeah.
Will we ever get out there for that? Probably not. We got to hit up Titan first.
We haven't hit Mars yet.
So then, my last fun fact about Pluto. We've only had one human spacecraft fly by the planet, and that was the New Horizons, which launched from Cape Canaveral on January 19th, 2006, and flew by Pluto on July 14th, 2015.
Human manned?
No.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I was going to say.
No, just a spacecraft that humans made.
Okay. Also, I want to go back to the fact that she was the 100th woman in space.
Yeah.
It's insane to me, and this is just my ignorance, it's insane to me that we've had not only 100 women in space, but just like over 100 people in space. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't, and it's just being ignorant to like this space scene, I guess you could call it. But just
The
like,
space scene.
Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, we do like go up there relatively, like, in the world sort of scape, like countries do go up there frequently. There's the ISS, like all of those things. But like, it just, I don't know. That number just seems like I just would not have guessed over 100 plus people have been in space.
I'm disappointed that she was the 100th woman.
Well,
I mean, like, great for her,
naturally.
but like, we should have already hit 100 a while ago. But, sexism exists within the military.
And the world.
In the world. Just the military.
Just the military.
No, that's a fair thing though, because like to me, I mean, like as far as I know, like the only reason why we were able to get up there so quickly is because of the ISS. Like that's how we crank those numbers up.
Fair.
Because that crew is switching out should be switching out every couple of weeks. Those people are still trapped up there, which is fucked
Still?
up. Oh yeah.
I thought they were supposed to get on the like. They were supposed to like taped down to the like plywood in the back.
They're still up there. I saw a video of them. This was, as of recording, I saw a video from the ISS like a couple days ago, and I was like, please don't be on there. Please don't be in this video. Please don't be in this video. And they're like, Happy Thanksgiving from the ISS. I was like, God, this woman was supposed to be down there at home by now.
It's insane.
Crazy.
That's insane. How many people have been in space then? Like, what's that percentage then? 100 women is what percentage of the amount of people in space?
To save us time and whatnot, I will say that from just the United States alone, 379 people have gone up to space.
What?
Granted, if I scroll down a little bit more, we have all countries. So it is 500. Oh, this needs to be updated. Wikipedia needs to be updated.
Fair.
Because it only says 78 women. So we could add like 50 more people.
Sure.
I'd say to the space list from this number. So we have 555 men, 78 women. But if she was the 100th woman to space, I wonder if this isn't counting. I would have to read the article. Since this was more of a commercial flight just going out into space,
sure.
I wonder if this is only counting
so you're talking
more like government entities.
So you're talking
space.
600 to 700 people have been in space by this point.
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually want to go onto the street and ask people, how many people do you think have been in space? I guarantee you the majority will not say 600 to 700 people.
No, people would probably say less than 100.
Correct. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, yes, it's very fascinating. It's very it's a crazy thing of science and technology and like invention.
Like that to me, now I feel more confident in going in space. If 600 to 700 people have gone successfully into space,
Yeah.
like then yeah, I'll go up. Not that I'm trying to.
No, I think I was going to ask you like if you wanted to go into space, talking about Pluto and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I was like, I already asked him that a couple episodes, like I don't know, last year maybe at this point.
But now it's changed.
But now it's changed. The numbers. We got
Well, now
numbers.
that I know all these people are going into space, it's like a
Right.
fucking vacation.
For some.
Well, for some. Fair.
All right. Back to the tragedy of Pluto.
Yeah. It's sad when you say tragedy.
That's why I put it in the title.
Some might say synonymous too.
So what happened?
Yeah.
We were sitting.
Wait, were all of those the fun facts?
Yeah,
You went through all of them?
Yeah, I went through all the fun facts.
Okay, sorry.
You're fine. So what happened? We were sitting pretty with 9 planets for 76 years until 2006, when Pluto could no longer claim the title of planet, but instead was demoted to being classified as a dwarf planet.
That's so sad.
It's not like we hadn't discovered dwarf planets before 2006.
Right.
Ceres is a dwarf planet that was discovered in 1801. How? Because that's 1801. Well, Ceres is one of 5 celestial bodies within our solar system that the IAU recognizes as candidates for dwarf planets.
Okay. Are you saying Ceres or Sirius?
Ceres.
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 Got it.
Is that okay?
I was just making sure. Thinking about Sirius XM.
Oh, no. Ceres.
Sirius.
But while 5 of these hang out in the trans-Neptunian region, which is the space beyond Neptune, Ceres resides in the inner solar system in the middle of the asteroid belt, the region of space between filled with asteroids that's between Mars and Jupiter.
Okay.
And since it's relatively close, they were able to observe it with the available technology in 1801. So, to answer the initial question of what happened.
Yeah.
Let's define the criteria the IAU has set for a planet to be a planet.
Sure.
It needs to hit 3 criteria. Number 1, it has to orbit its host star. So in our instance, it's the sun.
Okay. Check.
2, the object must be massive enough to be rounded by its own gravity. More specifically, its own gravity should pull it into a shape defined by hydrostatic equilibrium. Briefly, in fluid mechanics, it's what causes objects in space to be round, spherical like a planet, and not lumpy like asteroids and comets.
Okay, check.
3, be big enough that its gravity has cleared away any other objects of similar size near its orbit around the host star.
Oh, I don't know. Was that a check? Not a check.
Not a check.
Ah, no, Pluto.
So Pluto checked off 2 of the 3 criteria.
No, little buddy.
Orbit its host star and be mostly round.
Okay, great.
Pluto just wasn't able to clear out its orbital path. There's a ratio that I didn't write down, but there's a ratio of mass of the planet to what's left in its orbital path that it needs to hit in order to say that it cleared out its orbital path.
Got it.
I think Earth has 0.07%, maybe, I'm throwing out that number, of stuff left in its orbit. But since we're so we have so much mass, it doesn't matter. We're still obviously a planet.
Yeah. It's not Pluto's fault he's got a stage 5 clinger, okay? That's not his fault.
Well, Pluto hangs out in the Kuiper Belt. And the Kuiper Belt is the asteroid belt that stretches beyond the orbit of Neptune. It is a crowded neighborhood filled with hundreds of thousands of objects, much more massive and widespread than our asteroid belt of the inner solar system. And the Kuiper Belt, like I said, just so happens to be where Pluto bought its condo.
Well, that's not... Was Pluto there first? And then all the other Kuipers came in? You know what I mean?
Well, okay, so the Kuiper Belt is similar to the asteroid belt, is filled with objects that could have been left over from when our star, the sun, was being formed.
Sure.
And there are some that believe that even some of the outer planets, the gas giants' moons, are just Kuiper Belt objects that got pulled in from gravity.
Okay.
So they're not necessarily full on chunks of the planet or whatnot. They're just pieces that just kind of drifted too close and got sucked in.
Got it.
And that's kind of what they believe Pluto to be, is just something that just didn't quite form, didn't quite get there like all the other planets. Same thing with the asteroid belt. That's why we have a dwarf planet in the asteroid belt.
Well, and all his brothers and sisters are getting all the good stuff. All he's left with.
Yeah, even Mercury became a planet.
Oh, God. So, okay, yeah, what's that size comparison?
Well, Mercury, let's go through the criteria. Orbit its host star.
Sure.
Is round.
Yeah.
Doesn't have anything left in its orbital path.
So it could be smaller than Pluto. Mm-hmm. But because it has nothing left in its orbital path because it's so close to the sun. That's not Mercury's doing.
Mercury cleared out the way.
No, the sun cleared out the way for Mercury. That's nepotism. It's not Pluto's fault.
Mercury's a nepo baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking hilarious. So
just saying.
So we're also Gonna need to look at what caused the IAU to solidify the definition of a planet, that 3 criteria,
Sure.
in 2006. And for that, we can go to the discovery of Eris in 2005, ERIS. Eris is a trans-Neptunian object that is the most massive and second largest known dwarf planet in our solar system. It resides in the scattered disk, which is an area even beyond the Kuiper belt, and much more of a loosely defined area.
Okay.
Eris is the 9th most massive known object orbiting the sun, having a mass that is 27% greater than that of Pluto. I'm saying mass. It doesn't necessarily mean larger diameter. Pluto is, in fact, a little bit bigger, diameter speaking, than Eris, but has less mass.
Got it.
It has one large known moon. I skipped a fun fact about Pluto.
I fucking knew you didn't finish it.
I did skip a fun fact. Okay, so I need to go. I'm sorry, everybody. I need to go back. I need to talk about Pluto's moons. Talking about Eris's moon reminded me. I was like, I didn't talk about Pluto's moon. There are 5 fun facts. One more fun fact. But, there are 5 known moons to orbit Pluto, with the largest known as Chiron, which is approximately half the size of Pluto itself.
Oh my god.
Some people call Pluto and Chiron kind of like double planets, because they also do kind of tend to orbit each other a little bit.
Oh, a little dance.
If you look at the imagery of Pluto and Chiron going around and around, you can kind of see them orbiting each other.
Interesting.
And since they're so similarly sized, it's kind of hard to determine.
Got it.
So that's my final fact about Pluto. Back to Eris. So Eris has one large known moon called Dysnomia, and the planet, the dwarf planet, was named Eris after the Greco-Roman goddess of strife and discord. That's what Eris is the goddess of, which is a very fitting name.
Because so much strife and discord has come from this.
Exactly.
Ugh, my god.
So upon its discovery, folks at NASA were actually calling it their solar system's 10th planet. We were like, holy shit, we got 10. This was great.
That'd be crazy.
However, where would we put it in the rhyme?
I don't even know the rhyme. But also, like, at some point we have to cap it off. You know what I mean? At some point you just hit another solar system, right?
No. Not for many meters and whatnot.
I guess my question is, how can we see outside of our galaxy, but we haven't discovered everything even within our solar system?
Depends on where you're looking.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We don't have like a wide lens.
Where's the fisheye telescope? That's a question for another time.
Okay, fair.
So we were potentially having a 10th planet. However, the discovery of Eris and the likely possibility of discovering other similar objects in the future led the IAU to define the term planet for the first time. So we didn't have those 3 criteria until 2006 when Eris was discovered.
Got it.
They were like, whoa, slow the fuck down. Like, we're going to have so many planets at this point unless we define what truly is a planet.
Sure.
Let's look at the 8 that were like, hell yeah, those are planets. And 9 might be a maybe.
Got it. Okay.
So, like I was saying, there were too many objects similar to Pluto, some larger, like Eris, that necessitated the classification to be made. If Pluto and Eris could be planets, then the argument could be made for other objects of similar size, like Ceres or even Pluto's moon, Chiron.
Got it.
So the definition presented by the AU was, of course, met with resistance.
Of course.
Scientists were arguing for the other dwarf planets, Ares, Ceres, and the others, to be called planets because they met the first 2 criteria of the definition. So, like you said, they just happened to be there. So what if they couldn't clear out their orbital path?
Right.
They're still large enough. They still have a moon, etc.
I mean, like, I don't know about Eris, but I'm all on Pluto's side. I don't know enough about this one yet, okay?
Alan Stern, principal investigator with NASA's New Horizons mission to Pluto.
Investigator? Crazy.
Right. Stated that less than 5% of astronomers actually voted on the listed criteria. So the decision doesn't represent the entire astronomical community. How the IAU works, no fucking clue. that they like only 5% people voted on this criteria.
Right.
And we're all just like, yeah, this is great.
And
I don't know.
we don't need a majority? Like, what?
I don't know.
Crazy.
I didn't really look into that. I was like, that's too much.
It's a union.
I don't need to get into the politics of astronomers.
Right.
I got my own shit to do.
As long as we have 4.75%.
Yeah, their margin of error is, different for everybody else. The New Mexico House of Representatives passed a resolution declaring that Pluto will always be considered a planet while in New Mexican skies, and even declared March 13th, 2007, Pluto Planet Day.
Okay, we could have come up with a better name than that.
Well, I like the alliteration.
Pluto Planet Day?
Yeah, why not?
It could just be Pluto Day.
But we have to declare it's a planet.
Oh, right.
Thank
Statements have to be made.
Our friends down in Springfield, Illinois, passed a similar resolution in 2009 since Clyde Tombaugh was born here. Both resolutions cited that Pluto was, quote, unfairly downgraded to a dwarf planet by the IAU, end quote.
And that's why I live in Illinois.
Yeah. Not because of Pritzker's protecting your rights.
Yeah. Exactly. Protecting my right to believe that Pluto is a planet. Okay.
Other folks said they rejected the idea since they've known Pluto as a planet their whole life and will continue to call it a planet regardless of the IAU.
Yeah, fuck the IAU.
Which at first I thought, yeah, that sounds about right for that generation. Like, they're so set in their ways. And I was like, they should get over themselves. But then I was like, oh, yeah, the Sears Tower.
Oh, right.
I put my foot down about that building every day. In 2006, the American Dialect Society voted Plutode as the word of the year, which to Pluto is to demote or devalue someone or something.
God damn it. Yeah. God damn it. Why is it too fitting?
And in April of this year, 2024, Arizona passed a law that named Pluto as the official state planet, which I didn't know we were getting into.
Does Illinois have a state planet?
I don't think so. This was in 2024. I don't think Illinois has one.
I just feel like then there's a lot of overlap. Like you can't, like us and Massachusetts.
Yeah, we only have so many options.
Exactly.
And of course, there was countless pop culture references to Pluto being reclassified in endless internet jokes. And commentary on the subject matter that I'm sure a few of us might remember.
Yes.
But regardless of your opinion, it is official that Pluto became a dwarf planet when the Great Planet Debate was sparked by the discovery of Eris. As sad as it might be, for some, we give the honor of Pluto being the prototypical dwarf planet. It was the first one to be classified as such.
Yeah, Pluto doesn't give a fuck about that.
No.
Pluto just wants to be a planet.
I think
Pluto wants to be treated
like just like having a good time out there.
Pluto wants to be treated like every other planet out there, okay? Equal rights for Pluto, okay? So does Eris have more in their path then?
Technically, there's shit still in Eris's orbit. But I think since the scattered disk isn't as concentrated as the Kuiper belt is, it's not as crowded of a neighborhood, but there's still the ratio that I kind of mentioned earlier is still not conclusive to Eris marking off that third criterion.
Got it. Okay. Heard.
Yeah. Because like we're also still discovering a lot of different objects within the various asteroid belts and the scattered disk.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, the tragedy of Pluto. Do we blame Eris? Should some or all of these dwarf planets be true planets? Does distance to the host star also make a difference? Those are the questions I ask you. I ask you.
I have one question to your question. What's the distance difference from Uranus to Pluto versus Pluto to Eris?
1 moment. Okay, so the distance from Uranus to Pluto is it's a little hard to like give you one direct number because of Pluto's like oblong orbit around the sun.
Sure.
Because also at one point, Pluto is closer to the sun than Uranus would be.
Oh.
Just based off its orbital path.
Sure.
But from the distance from Uranus to Pluto is about 11 AU.
Okay.
And the distance from Pluto to Eris is approximately, again, the orbits are funky, several dozen AU at its closest.
See? So Pluto is more inclusive to the solar system than Eris is.
Oh, well, yeah. Sorry, I didn't know that was your question. Because Pluto is part of the Kuiper Belt, which is closer to the sun than the scattered disk. The scattered disk where Eris resides is essentially the backcountry beyond the Kuiper Belt.
Sure. I just wasn't sure, like, what's the distance equivalent, right? Like, are we saying, like, the outer disk is, like, you know, close enough to where Eris could kind of be included into, like, a solar system type thing? But I think if the Kuiper Belt's the cutoff...
well, the scattered disk is still part of our solar system.
Where does our solar system end and another begin?
Past the scattered disk.
Oh, all of a sudden.
Once things stop orbiting our sun, they're no longer part of our solar system.
So the outer disk does orbit the sun.
The scattered disk, yeah.
The scattered, whatever. And then and then nothing beyond that has been discovered as to continue to orbit the sun.
Yes, with an asterisk as far as I know.
Okay. What's the next solar system?
Like the solar system that's closest to us?
Yeah.
Well, are you thinking of like what's the closest star or what's the closest star with planets?
I guess star with planets, because would a star have a solar system?
You know what?
Without planets?
I will just Google closest solar system.
Okay.
The nearest star system would be Alpha Centauri B.
I've heard that before.
Which is, we've talked about it. It's 4 light years away.
Oh, okay. Not bad.
So that's like 40,000 billion kilometers.
So
not bad.
Not like a quick Sunday morning.
Yeah, just a Sunday drive.
Yeah. How many parsecs is that to get there? Okay. Yeah, this is becoming a bigger topic, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to cut you off because you're going to ask
too many more
questions, and we are out of time.
Fair. All right. Well, on that note, I'm just going to say justice for Pluto.
Justice for Pluto?
Yeah.
Heard.
100%.
I'll get you that shirt.
Thank you. And I want the other one too.
Fine.
Thank you.
They'll just be hand drawn on
Sharpie.
Yeah. I'll misspell like justice or something. Anyway, so that's the tragedy of Pluto. Very sad. Let me know what your opinions are. If Pluto should be a 9th planet, if we should have more than 9 planets.
Yes.
What you think about that? If you remember the Great Planet Debate of 2006, some of you probably don't. And if you have any other topics that you'd like us to talk about, let us know. Otherwise, Happy New Year to all you folks. Have a safe and fun time. Enjoy yourselves. And you can also make sure to like and subscribe and find us all over the internet at WDYK_podcast. And we'll catch you next time.
Yes.
Okay, bye now.
Goodbye.